Well, we start tonight with Decision 2014 and your election results. Good evening, everyone. I'm Marley Ginter.
And I'm Brian Sterling. You saw everything from congressional primaries to proposed tax increases on your ballots today. And tonight at 11, the results are coming in. We've got live coverage for you, our election team in the newsroom tabulating the numbers. You can see those scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And our crews are spread out, getting reaction from all of the top races. We want to start with the marquee matchup tonight, the Republican primary in the 3rd Congressional District.
The numbers are still coming in, but we project Justin Amash will beat businessman Brian Ellis. You're looking at the results there, 56 to 44%.
That's right, and this one has been called. This is where our team coverage begins. Rick Albin has the analysis of the race. Tom Hillen is with the Ellis campaign. We want to start, though, with Leon Hendricks, who's getting reaction from the Amash camp. Leon, there has to be a lot of excitement over there.
Oh, you better believe it, Marley. As soon as word started to spread that that Brian Ellis had conceded, this crowd went crazy. You take a look here, you can still see quite a few people huddled around in that back corner over there. That's where Justin Amash is seated with his colleagues. They've been looking at the computer screens and watching as the election results came in. But as you might imagine, we heard a lot of screaming and cheering as he conceded. But at this point, we still have not heard any sort of a victory speech or any declaration made here from the Justin Amash campaign. Now, of course, people are cheering now because they're watching the Wood TV feed on their screens, but we're waiting to hear from Justin Amash. Of course, if that happens within this newscast, we will bring that to you. But, of course, the big news here, the fact that the opponent for Justin Amash, Brian Ellis, has conceded the race at this point. So we'll, of course, be here waiting to hear from Justin Amash, who is, of course, expected to be the Republican nominee for the House seat. Back to you.
All right, Leon, thank you. We want to get to 24 News 8's Tom Hillen, who's with the Ellis campaign tonight. Tom?
Marley, a much different scene over here at the Ellis campaign. We are at Grand Rapids Brewing Company, and the room that was once filled with Ellis supporters has now all but emptied out. Brian Ellis did come down here from his campaign headquarters about 10:30 or so to make the announcement to the crowd here that he was conceding the race. He said that the numbers at that point were just too large for them to overcome. He said that he did call Representative Justin Amash on the phone to concede the race, but that call actually went to voicemail. He says he was waiting for a call back from him, or may possibly try to call him again a little bit later. But he thanked the supporters here for all the hard work that they had put into his campaign. He says that though he accepts his defeat, he's not devastated by it. We were able to talk with him just after he made that speech here to the crowd.
I tried to expose what I thought were Justin's shortcomings. I think the people had a good look at that, and the people said they're okay with that. And, you know, as hard as a pill that is to swallow, we need to accept that and get behind that.
Now, I was able to ask him about what his political future might hold. He said, well, he's going to go home, get a good night's rest, and think about that at a later time. Live in downtown Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24-hour News 8.
All right, Tom, thank you. Let's turn things over now to political reporter Rick Albin for analysis of the Amash-Ellis race and a look at the other congressional races tonight, Rick.
You know, Brian Ellis may have put his finger on something there. For all of the complaints that we have heard from business folks, from Republican supporters and others about Justin Amash, he has prevailed once again. So when the people get a look at what others think are problems with his campaign or with him serving in Congress, apparently it doesn't end up being the total deciding factor, because again tonight, in pretty handy fashion, if these numbers hold up, let's take a look at those 3rd District numbers again. Justin Amash beats challenger Brian Ellis 56-44. Those are not the final numbers, but we have called that race. He'll go on to face Democrat Bob Goodrich in the fall, but Justin Amash once again with a pretty steady campaign there by Brian Ellis, and he fights back that challenge tonight, according to our projections. Also want to take a look at the 4th Congressional District. This is the open seat in the center part of the state. Dave Camp has been a longtime member up there. John Molinar and Paul Mitchell had a tough race going in. We've got 64% reporting, 51-38. This is quite a separation. Again, that race isn't over, but John Molinar, who was playing catch-up in the last couple of weeks, seems to have done it, at least at this point. That would be another big change of fortunes in that race, because Paul Mitchell had put a lot of his own personal finances in there. We don't have to look at the numbers down in the 6th Fred Upton, the incumbent congressman, wins 30-70 or in that neighborhood. And then again, down in the 7th, Tim Walberg wins something like 80-20 over his primary opponent, although there was one congressman over on the east side that was defeated tonight. A lot more to talk about those congressional races in the days ahead and some state house and Senate races coming up, Marley.